It's a county with a long tradition of equestrian sport, a fertile breeding ground for top-class riders and horses. No surprise then that two of Britain's Olympic superstars live around here. Charlotte Dujardin and the stunning Valegro claimed gold twice at London 2012. They pressed into the history books with the highest ever points in the individual competition and played their part in Team GB's first Olympic dressage gold. And this is him, the famous Valegro. It's the first time I've ever met an Olympic double gold medalist. He seems quite friendly. And later, Charlotte is going to be putting Valegro through his paces. But first of all, I want to discover how you create a dressage horse like this. How do you spot and train and look after a potential world beater? Top dressage horses are like athletes. There's a whole team of people involved in their training, from grooms and farriers to nutritionists and physiotherapists. Not forgetting fellow Olympic gold medalist and Charlotte's trainer, Hester. Carl, Charlotte, lovely to meet you.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you too.
Hello.
And after all that Olympic glory, the reality of daily training again.
Yeah, back in the murky old arena, you know, we have to produce horses, we have to think about the next Olympics, so here we are with a 4-year-old horse, Charlotte's young horse, which is Johnny Cash, and of course one you might recognise, Utopia, my gold medal ride from the Olympics this year.
And how do you compare the two?
Well, the interesting thing when you look at these two horses, this one is obviously 11 years old. He's a finished product, Grand Prix horse, and it's the muscle structure that you're looking at that's so different. You can see how developed his neck is, how developed his hindquarters are. And then, of course, we look at Charlotte's 4-year-old horse here, Johnny Cash, and, well, we describe him like a beanpole, really. But he's just a skeleton, and at 4 years old, he's got a lot of developing to do.
Well, he looks ready to go. Can we see him in action?
Of course you can.
Can you tell at the start now whether he might or might not make it?
I'd like to foresee the future. It's not that easy. I mean, all we're looking at now is actually what his attitude's like and his paces. And, you know, he has 3 very good paces. And he's a big, good-looking, impressive horse. And he's nice and loose. Dressage horses have to be gymnastic and they have to be supple. And he seems to have all the right qualities at this age.
It's all very graceful, very balletic, but in fact dressage can be traced back to classical Greece, where the cavalry trained their horses to perform movements that could be used in battle to evade or attack the enemy. Today it's a career for the horses as much as it is for the riders, and keeping these 4-legged athletes in shape is a full-time job, as stable manager Fiona Lawrence knows only too well. But what is the daily routine then?
Well, we all start about 6:30 and feed and hay the horses, and then we all start mucking out. Carl and Charlotte will then start riding about 8 o'clock, and then it's constant riding until 2.
And once you've mucked them out and exercised them, it's time for a late lunch. For the horses, that is. Who's this for?
That's for Barney.
Right. Move back a bit, boy. That's it. Right. I'm going to put it in here. And when they've eaten, the horses are allowed to have some downtime, quite literally.
After lunch, normally the horses go out in the field after exercise, but because we've been flooded so badly, the fields are too wet, so they go on the walker just to have another stretch of their legs. And
It's a bit like a fairground ride for horses, isn't it?
OK.
Stopping. In we go for a little walk. And how long will you be in here, Fiona?
20 minutes.
Then the pace hots up. It really is non-stop. New shoes are being fitted. Saddles have to be measured. There's warm-ups and warm-downs, and it doesn't end there. Physiotherapist Marnie Malgarin makes regular visits to keep the horse's muscles in tip-top condition. Hello, Marnie. What's going on here, then?
I'm treating Liebling today. He's having his regular physio treatment. Basically, he's having an equine sports massage. I think they work the hardest of all the disciplines. They have to take a lot of weight on their hind legs. You've seen when you work, physically, it's actually a very hard job for them. So we really need to look after them.
It does look a bit like pampering, Marnie, is it?
No, they are top athletes and they can't do their job unless we help them.
Well, I'm amazed at what goes on here every day to turn these horses into elite, very specialised athletes. And talking of which, it's time we saw one of the very best in action. Well, this is, isn't it, the ultimate in dressage?
This is the Olympic level. I mean, this is Valegro at his very best, and this is why, when you see him here moving like this, why he won the gold.
And won the nation's hearts. Well, Charlotte, what a year it's been for you two.
Yeah, I've had a fantastic year. I can't complain. Yeah, I get called the girl off the dancing horse now, so it's not dressage any longer, it's the dancing horses.
And what's next for you two?
We are actually competing in a fortnight. It's a World Cup qualifier, so we haven't obviously had a run since the Olympics, so it'll be very exciting.
All eyes will be on you two then. Well,
Yeah.
all the very best.
Thank you very much.
At 10 years old, Valegro is young for such a master of his art. He's the product of years of training and a whole team of people. And without them, the breathtaking harmony in his partnership with Charlotte just wouldn't be possible.